Welcome back to the ISDA AGM studio. I'm joined by Acting Chairman Pham from the CFTC. Caroline, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Fantastic. You just outlined on our keynote on day 2 your accomplishments and your priorities for your first 100 days. It's remarkable that it's only been 100 days and a lot has been done. Can you summarize what you laid out in that keynote speech?
Sure, of course. Thank you. It has been a whirlwind of a first 100 days, but I think for me, when I look back at what I've done and what I'm most proud of, I think you can boil it down to essentially the 3 priorities, which was to fix the agency, fix enforcement, and fix swaps and cross-border. These were areas that the industry had talked a lot about, had reached out a lot about, had done a lot of engagement on, and I think that also was very important for the priorities of this administration. But when I look at all of that, what I'm most proud of and what really means the most to me is the work that we did to create more opportunities for the staff. So we launched a leadership speaker series for the staff to engage in capacity building for new and emerging technologies like digital assets. And we put together a lot of continuing education and other professional development programs. And since it was the CFTC's 50th anniversary, we had a special set of 50th anniversary awards where we recognize the core values that we have of mission excellence, markets excellence, and mindset excellence.
Fantastic. You know I have a soft spot for the CFTC as a former commissioner, so I'm glad they're doing well. Thanks for that. Now, the other element to this entire conference in the AGM has been the issues around geopolitical risk, market risk. There's been a lot more volatility in markets. You've seen a lot in the 4 years you've been at the commission. How do you think about the future going forward and what people need to be thinking about in markets today?
I think the one word that sums it up is uncertainty. From one day to the next, it is an environment where you have a lot of market volatility, and that market volatility means that you're seeing sort of unprecedented volumes and flow in the markets. But through it all, the markets have been resilient. They've been well functioning, even when we had the spike recently a couple weeks ago, where the curve and the charts really looked more like the GFC. Or even like March 2020. Throughout it all, no major operational issues, nothing of significance happened to, disrupt the markets. Everything was well functioning. Our derivatives markets performed well, even with 7% increases in margin being collected, for example. Everybody was able to meet their margin calls. So I think that proves that all the reforms that we've done to really strengthen the markets, to really ensure that there's liquidity even through the market shocks or dislocation, it's all worked fine. But that uncertainty is going to be there, which means that risk needs to be top of mind, which I think means using more derivatives.
Couldn't agree more. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for your keynote speech today.
Thank you.